Där åker vi!
Vi är live!
God morgon allihopa!
Välkomna till Sweden Rock Online.
Och välkomna till Sweden Rock Festival.
Som ni ser så blåser det lite kraftigt, men ingenting vi inte kan lösa.
Nej, helt fantastiskt. Det är väl ett par timmar kvar faktiskt tills festivalen öppnar, men det ser ut som att vi börjar bli klara. Det kommer bli en fantastisk festival i år.
Verkligen. Och de har jobbat så hårt ute på fälten igår. Ni som han ser var lilla korta live såg att då såg man i och för sig inte så mycket. Det var ju becksvart. Men vi har jobbat dygnet runt, inklusive oss.
Ja, vi har fan också jobbat stenhårt.
Ja.
Vi kommer ju köra här klockan 10 och klockan 18 varje dag. Vi kommer få upp massa trevliga gäster här. Det kommer några nu om en liten stund. Hoppas vi. Vi har inte sett dem än, men de ska vara vakna i alla fall.
Ja. Vi kommer göra inslag ut på fält. Så att ni kanske ser oss. Hoppas ni ser oss. Då får ni gärna grabba tag i oss så hittar vi på något kul.
Vi har ju redan gjort ett inslag på fält igår.
Det har vi.
Otroligt roligt.
Otroligt.
Vi fick låna en golfbil. Det var ju otroligt kul att köra golfbil. Vi åkte runt och kikade lite på hur det såg ut här igår kväll, strax innan solen gick ner. Går det att klippa in det här så även tittarna får se hur kul vi hade?
Ja, vi kör.
Nej, men nu så ska vi ta en liten rundtur på området strax innan vi öppnar. Jävligt spännande, så här sista kvällen.
Jag tänker att vi kör ner till blåkläderscenen.
Har du kört golfbil förut i alla fall?
Ja, för fan.
Jävlar!
Jobbar ni här?
Nej, vi är festivalbesökare.
Hur ligger ni till?
Ja, det är i fas.
Det är det? Ja. När slutar ni jobba ikväll?
När vi är klar. Peace, love and understanding.
Här är lite sovhytter ju. Här sover man om man inte... Nej, men om man jobbar här.
Josh. Hej!
Hej! Förlåt! Det var inte... Jag fick feeling. Jag ska inte sitta här.
Ronny Nyman, hur går det för er?
Det går bra.
Ligger du fast?
Ja, jag ligger så bra till idag så att jag börjar fundera om någonting åt helvete.
Är det så pass?
Ja.
Det låter nästan inte...
Nej, jag vet inte fan. Jag väntar bara att något ska bli...
Så du kan gå hem snart?
Ja, jag är på väg hem nu. Jag har ju beställt taxi.
Ja, vi hoppas att du kommer förbi flera gånger va? Och kolla hur det går.
Ja, men
I golfbil.
Jättekul där. Du, istället för att svara på hans fråga, eller istället för att ställa en fråga så trycker du på gasen.
Hej!
Ja, jag råkade ju.
Jag ska röra en kroppsdel. Vilken var det munnen eller foten? Jag tar foten. Det blir ju svintrevligt ju. Kolla soffgruppen här. Där vill jag sitta.
Ja, det var jättefint.
Har vi någon ledig kväll Jennifer, då går vi hit.
Och så har du scenen precis bredvid.
Ja, kan man ju höra i alla fall. Bra från Rockstage.
Ja.
Det här är ett helt nytt område för år ju.
Skogen heter det i alla fall.
Ja, jättetrevligt.
Ligger precis
Bredvid Rockstage.
Rockstage.
Ja, vi drar och käkar på golfbilen. Nu åker vi in
Vippen!
på vippen. Det här är inte för alla. Det här är bara för de som har vipp. Och för de som har golfbil. Kommer ni jobba sen här under festivalen?
Jag kan ju.
Det är ju de som bygger den här och vad förväntar sig. Ja, men det är väl whisky.
Tillbaks till studion.
Nu är vi tillbaka i studion. Nu har vi fått in två enormt bra gäster också. Warm welcome to Jay and Scott from the Mighty Rival Sons.
It's really
Welcome,
not that
guys.
warm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice
It's
to
kind
be
of
here.
like
Thank
chilly
you.
welcome.
Welcome to Sweden Rock Festival.
How does it feel being back in Sweden?
I mean, Sweden. Our history here has been great over the last, 12 years, 14 years almost, and coming back here, it's always like slipping into a warm bath.
Great.
Yeah, super happy to be back.
That means good.
Absolutely. Well, this is actually the beginning of our summer tour today.
Yeah. And how long does this tour stretch?
It goes to just about the end of July.
How long vacation did you have until today?
Oh, we took some time off.
We did.
Yeah, we had a really busy year last year. 23 saw the Rival Sons releasing 2 different records.
Yeah, I know.
And it was a lot of touring, and so we needed to rearrange a couple of things to reapproach 24 and 25 and, how we're going to go about things. So.
Yeah. But how did you spend your vacation? Or maybe you don't call it vacation.
Well,
but
we all have families and pets and things we're doing and projects and stuff. So we stayed busy doing always writing and working, and for me really a lot of time with my wife and kids,
Great.
which was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, family.
Can imagine.
Yeah,
But do
family.
you guys stay in touch?
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
How do you stay in touch? You have like a group chat
Like this.
or
Hey, brother.
We connect. We call each other up or see each other. You know, if we have business, we always have business. So we're talking. The two of us talk pretty regularly.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're family and we're friends, and there's always a lot to talk about.
We're business partners and we're family and we're friends.
Yeah, so it's both business and like everybody sent to their friends, like stupid
Oh, definitely, yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, we'll get on the phone and talk about cars or guitars or just whatever, you know, just like regular people.
Cars and guitars. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, so Jay, I've heard that you have different vocal stages during a tour. Is that true?
I think so. I think that it's just like any training, you know, singing for me, it's a really physical enterprise. So I think that you get in different stages of conditioning as the tour goes on. You know, when you first start out, your body has to get acclimated to all of the workout, you know, and to all of the stress, and my voice just goes through the different levels, and then typically half of the tour, I'm just ready to go.
Yeah.
You know,
So now you're in the beginning. So what stage do you call this?
the beginning.
It always hits a spot where it's almost completely gone.
Yeah.
And it happens reasonably early in the tour, maybe the first couple weeks, and after that second week or whatever, third week, it kind of revives and turns into this new voice that's like his strongest road voice, you know, where it's a little more weathered and just not it's a little more resilient after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that, like, for me, I really don't stress about it, you know. If people want to complain or whatever, that's really up to them. But for me, you know, it's a living, breathing thing, and it's about recovery, and there's a process to every tour. I think that the most important thing, you know, when I approach a stage or one of our songs, it isn't necessarily, I'm not worried about the notes I can hit or whatever. For me, vocals are all about awareness, and it's about commitment and being within the song and living there, and my heart being in the song. You know, that's what translates, you know, for me.
But you said complaints. Do you really get complaints about your voice? That sounds
I'm
ridiculous.
sure they exist online, but I wouldn't read them.
I haven't seen it.
All right, so you've been here 2 times before, 2012, I believe, and 2017. It's 7 years ago. What's changed during the last 7 years?
So much has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, since 2012, we put records out almost every year. I think closer to these records, there was a little more time between them, so we put out a lot more music and toured a whole bunch more and built a lot more audience and saw a lot more of the world. And
You remember 2012 when we
my
came
gosh.
here?
Yeah.
Graveyard was playing, and we got to meet those guys and hang out for a while. And I remember walking through the audience, and they did a photo shoot. Remember, there was a photo shoot and an
I had
editorial.
to procure a bunch of images for this Pressure in Time book, this special edition.
Yeah.
So I had this huge section of Sweden rock, of us going through Sweden rock, and there's something kind of real hippie-ish about it. There's something kind of Woodstocky about the photos. Like, everyone's really cool, really well-dressed and kind of groovy looking, and sitting close together and smoking joints and hanging out. And we have these photos of us walking through while everyone's sitting down on the ground. It's really cool.
I remember looking out on the stage, and you and I talked about it, even on the stage, looking out and going, I've never seen so many black T-shirts in my life.
Welcome to Sweden Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. But about you putting so many great records out. Today you play 75 minutes. How do you work with your set list? Is it
we always
is
wanna
it done
play
yet for tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. When
Yeah,
did you do it?
For the most part, it's pretty much done. We always want to play stuff off the new records.
Yeah.
But we did come through Europe on touring the new records already once, so I think on a second go round on an album cycle, we'll start to dig a little bit more into the catalog and cover everything. It's really kind of a difficult thing, actually, building set lists like that. It's not like we have certain songs that we really have to play, but there are a handful of songs that we think people probably want to hear and that the audience will react, that we want to play for them. You know?
I think that building set lists, we've had so many conversations over the years. For our part of it, we're really straddling the line in between selfishness.
Getting dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. I think that when you build a set list, we have 9 records now. And so you're really straddling the line of you can't afford to think too much about the audience. But at the same time, we're out on a tour. We're going to play so many different shows. But for a lot of people, they've been waiting for this specific show. Yeah. And so keeping the audience in mind to a certain degree, I think, is important. But then on the other side of that is we need to make ourselves happy. And we need to play what we feel like playing, and explore and maybe throw some X factor in there for us to give ourselves room, to stretch out a little bit. But I think that...
Yeah, if there's one thing we've learned over the years, it's no matter what we play, if we want to play it very much and we're having fun on stage, and that's like we're anticipating playing something, it's going to be good for the audience. We're enjoying it. It's going to become fun for everybody else instead of playing maybe what we think people might want to hear. We're just, especially this tour, I think was really about, let's just play exactly what's going to be very fun on stage for us, and I think it'll be great for everyone.
Great. But who in the band has the most opinions about the set list?
Definitely Scott, because he, with what I learned this early on, set lists were always really important to me. And I would always like to build set lists. But for what Scott's doing, he has so many different guitars, so many different tunings, and it's also, he's manning this huge rig. Yeah. That early on I realized, that's fine. For him to orchestrate and build things from that degree, that's a logistical thing that's got to be considered. Nobody has their head in that game the way he does.
But your guitar tech, does he have a say in the set list also then?
No, not at all. No. But I do keep him in mind for what he's doing over there. But you make him gray-haired, making sure he can handle what's happening. Sure.
But will you play anything from the new albums tonight?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
We absolutely will. Anything you would want to hear?
Yeah, I like...
Nobody Wants to Die.
Nobody Wants to Die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very quick.
Thank you.
I've been waiting for that one so long.
Okay.
And I missed you guys in Stockholm this autumn. But I think last summer, I don't know, I listened to that song a couple of thousand times. It was my song of the summer last summer.
That's killer.
Yeah,
and I hope it will be this summer again. Well, great. I hope you stay around. Would you have some more to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
We should say something about yesterday also to the guys, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll switch to Swedish for a few seconds.
Sure.
Nytt för i år var ju faktiskt att det hände lite grejer här igår. Det gör det ju alltid på tisdagen, det vet ni som bor på camping i alla fall. Och så. Men det var lite uppstyrda grejer. Det var ju lite fest och signering och grejer. Och vi var och träffade Evergrey igår när de hade skivsignering och sån förlyssning på deras nya platta. Den ligger där bakom.
Ska jag hämta den?
Ja, jag gör det. Om
jag
folk
hämtar den.
Fick man komma dit och lyssna på den. Den släpps på fredag. Det var trevligt. Jag gillar den där känslan precis innan saker och ting öppnar, även om det är underbart. Nu. Så ser den ut. Theories of the Emptiness. Ska vi kolla på när vi träffar Evergrey?
Jättebra, gärna.
Tack. Ja, men då står vi här. Redan tisdag kväll är det bara. Festivalen har inte ens börjat. Evergrey är här. Vad har ni gjort?
Vi har varit där inne och signerat. Vi har signerat våra nya skiva och pratat med några av våra fans.
Fan vad trevligt. Och det är första gången tror jag det händer något en tisdagkväll här på Sweden Rock. Som officiellt i alla fall från festivalen.
Ja, det är det säkert.
Ja.
Men det gick bra faktiskt. Ja. Vi var oroliga, men det borde vi inte ha varit. För det var jävligt mycket folk och skitkul. Så att, ja, asnice.
Och plattan släpps 7 juni.
Plattan släpps på fredag, ja. Precis. Så vi har hållit på och gjort promotion i hela Sverige nu i ett gäng dagar. Så vi är lite slitna, men väldigt, väldigt glada.
Fattar det. Men en stor skillnad nu är att ni har ny trummis.
En norsk jävel också, eller hur? Men han är inte här, han är och repar.
Den jäveln.
Han är på Island på något jävla sparrep tror jag. Jag vet inte vad han håller på med. Det här får vi nog snacka om i Brasilien nästa vecka. Så att, ja.
När är första giget på nya plattan?
Måndag. Mexico City.
Yeah baby.
Jag blir så fruktansvärt avundsjuk på alla som åker till Sydamerika och spela.
Ja, men...
Är det så tufft som jag tror?
Ja. Det är jätteroligt. Och de skriker jättemycket. Då spelar man ett fint solo så blir de jätteglada. Så det...
Skriker inte mer än här. Jag såg ju här sist när ni lirade, de skrek ju jättemycket på er då.
Ja, men det var andra
Ja,
grejer. Det var andra grejer.
När har vi i Sverige chans att se nästa gång?
I
September.
12 och 13.
Och idag har vi precis släppt 90 gig som vi ska göra i år. Så att det är en del att pyssla med. Så vart man än är i världen, wherever you are, så kommer man kunna se oss nästan i alla fall. Men det är bara Europa nu och Sydamerika.
Det låter ändå som att ni får en riktigt härlig sommar och höst och fortsatt år ju.
Ja, det blir kul. Vi har ju inte spelat någonting, så att det här blir ju första spelningen faktiskt som vi gör nu på måndag eller tisdag.
Sen oktober.
Men vi önskar er stort lycka till med allt och så önskar vi er en fantastisk festival.
Verkligen.
Nu kör
Enjoy,
vi.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Och vi är tillbaka. Härliga Evergrey. De har ju också signing session idag.
Ja, klockan.
Det får vi kolla upp.
Ja. Ni som är fans, kolla upp det. I Sweden Rocks app, där står ju alla tider och allting. Great.
How does the Swedish, Swedish language sound like?
It sounds like flirting, blurting, beater. It's a lot of that.
That's how we
I spent some time with this gal trying to understand the ooh, ooh, and it's so when I'm here listening, I'm trying to hear like all the different phonetical closeness of everything, and that's what it sounds like to me. A lot of phonetics we don't work with so much.
I think we're pretty much alone to have the u, like in 7.
Yeah.
7 is 7.
Yeah.
That's used to be a hard one.
Give me an example of ooh, ooh, and ooh.
7, sjö.
Come on.
Det här är
Vad
jättesvårt.
säger du, Ted?
Vi kan inte ta... Jakob, har du någon? Du som är bra på dialekter.
Ja, Jakob.
Nej.
Nej men! Kom igen nu.
Sjukhus.
But that's the same. We need different ones.
Yeah.
Well, this is windy.
Oh,
now it starts raining.
It's raining a lot.
Some of your items are blown away.
Oh my God.
This is great. This is
My
live. This
back
is how
is
we
wet.
want it.
Yeah.
Windy and dark like a Saxon video.
Yeah, exactly.
Saxon. They're not here. They were here last year, I think.
Yeah. So we talked about Evergrey's signing session today. How is it doing signing sessions? You will have a signing session 2 times.
That's right. I think it's always a good time to interface with people and get some of that excitement. You know, we're excited to be here. Everyone that comes, you know, they have something in mind and they're looking forward to the day. So, you know, sharing in some of that excitement is always a good vibe.
I think doing it, like being the person doing the signing is one thing. I think when I'm doing it, I have to think about being somebody that's like seeing an artist that I would want to like have signed something. I have to get my head in that world, kind of like, okay, these people, they want me to sign this. They want to talk and say hello. Okay, let's do that then, you know?
But at your level, is it still a small portion of anxiety about nobody showing up or very few people showing up?
You know what? Something like that, it's so far out of our control.
Yeah.
You know, you just resign yourself. You show up and you do your best to just have a good time. It's kind of like that with everything, though.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's still morning. You will spend the rest of the day here, I guess.
Yeah, we have a lot of press, a lot of things like this, and some meet and greets, and some signing.
And I don't think we're on till
interviews. We're on at
7 o'clock.
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
7 p.m. tonight.
So we're here for the day. Maybe we'll come back and see you.
Yeah, you will. Oh, you can. I hope you will. You're more than welcome.
Whoa,
But
okay.
Will you have time to see anything of any other band?
I think more than likely once we play our show, you know, catch some Megadeth later. And,
Go see Dave.
Let's see, what do we got? Yeah.
Go see Dave and Megadeth.
So, yeah, something like that probably.
Maybe you can stay on stage and watch Megadeth.
We'll see.
You played there and they played there. You have the best
So
feeling
you
from the
always play
stage.
at festival stage, isn't it?
Do we? I don't remember.
Well, I think on our first, we played over there near the
rock
hillside.
stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we played the rock stage
Yeah.
that first year.
Uh-huh.
But it's a great stage to play. Looking forward to it.
But do you... have any colleagues? Do you meet new colleagues, or you just keep up with old friends, like backstage bands?
I think it depends. You know,
A
it's
little
like
bit of both.
Yeah, it's circumstantial, like to whatever your schedule is for the day.
Yeah.
You know, when you can go and catch maybe a band that you haven't seen before, or catch up with old friends. You know, like tomorrow, you've got. You know, tomorrow is another great day because you've got
Journey,
Graveyard.
Graveyard.
Yeah.
Are the Crows playing tomorrow?
The Black
Black
Crows.
Crows.
Black Crows are playing
Yeah.
tomorrow, you know.
Awesome.
But we're going to miss everybody. We'll be on to another festival tomorrow.
Yeah,
so.
Trondheim.
Trondheim, yeah.
That's right.
So who wins, Sweden or Norway?
Sweden.
Come on.
Norway, they have 1 day. It's a great festival, but it's 1 day. It's not even a festival. It's got to be at least 2 days to be a festival.
I'm going to be honest with you. Today, you're asking me who wins, and I'm going to tell you there's no competition. It's Sweden.
Sweden wins.
Yeah.
But let me be honest with you. Tomorrow, they're going to ask me
Yeah.
who wins.
Yeah.
And I won't lie when I say Norway.
Yeah. I get it. But I suppose that's how you truly feel.
I mean, yeah. We love Sweden. We love Norway. We love where we're touring. We love these places. I don't think there's anywhere that we're like, this place sucks.
Well, you got to put that into context.
All right, give it to me, Jay.
Well, really, I mean, it's just like what I was talking about. Like, if you're doing a signing session or whatever, you don't worry if people are going to show up. You don't worry about any of that stuff. Like, your number one job is to enjoy your current station. Like, wherever you're at, like, just get the most that you can, the most good energy, and put yourself there 100% and fully commit. So it's like every time, you know, we're switching countries or switching towns every night. And I think that it really comes down to fully investing yourself into wherever you're at.
But can the Swedish audience do anything to be
special? Absolutely.
A little bit better.
I was going to mention just for our band, very early on in our career, 2012, right around this time, 2013, something like that, we played Gothenburg and filmed it with the full camera crew and turned it into a film. And we never put the film out properly, like through our own business, but we released it to Palladia, which was a subsidiary of MTV. I don't know if you guys know about this. Palladia, they were just playing live concerts.
Okay.
At home. So we, before anyone even knew who we were at home, we had a connection over at Palladia.
That's right,
and we had
yeah.
Rival Sons live from Gothenburg, and the show was just so wonderful. And we thought it would be a perfect show to film because of our experience with the Swedish people. And it was like some of the first audiences that really gave back to us. And like this, after playing this many years and touring, coming back to these countries for this long, there's something special about pretty much every place we go. We can have a memory like this, like, oh yeah, we made our live Gothenburg in Sweden.
Yeah.
It's always going to be important to us.
Or a photo session 2012.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah,
Great.
you know, and just even bringing like Norway into it, like this, not that many people we even know that tour do well in Norway or even go there, so that we've been embraced by a place like that. That's special. That's something interesting, you know.
And also, you know, with Sweden, one of the things that separates Sweden from other countries is the music history of Sweden, and also like what's going on currently. Like we both listen to tons of Swedish artists, you know, and
Any favorites?
I mean, my favorite. I have two favorites probably. Growing up, I always loved the Hives.
Yeah.
Like crazy loved them and thought this is the weirdest band that nobody's gonna get what they're doing at all. And I felt really like I get it. I get that 100%. And then I discovered years back a band called Doomgun.
Yeah.
And I've just been wild for Doomgun the whole time. Yeah.
And then, you know, Soundtrack of Our Lives.
Great band.
But currently, you know, there's a band called Amazon that I just think is a great band. A great band. Very, very creative and just really making great music, great records.
Great. I was thinking when you talked about the early Gothenburg show.
Yeah.
Is it for an American band? Is it like cool to say to the American press or whatever that, yeah, we're like big in Europe?
Yeah, of course it is.
It is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was kind of the point. Like when we had this thing on Palladia, and it was only playing in America, and that everybody would watch this and go, Rival Sons live in Gothenburg?
What
What
have
is
we
a Rival
missed?
Sons?
Yeah.
What is a Gothenburg? And how the hell do they have their own special? You know, and that kind of was the intent ultimately. Like, that's cool. There's like some shock value and interestingness to it.
Yeah, it's exotic. You know, it's never a bad thing. Brother, I'm going to have to break some news to you. We're big in Europe. I know that's terrible, but we do really well there, and I know you hate to hear it.
Yeah, but maybe it's always like better in some way to be big at some other place.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, in Sweden, for a Swedish band, it's always more, what do you say, cool, to find a bad word, to be big in some other countries than to be big in Sweden.
Grass is always greener,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
That's always how it is. It's. I'll just say it's good to be known and have any kind of notoriety anywhere. We're thankful. We're happy to get to do it.
Absolutely. We love you guys. We love you, Sweden.
And we love the Rival Sons. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. I remember, I don't know how many years ago it was, but the energy you got on stage, it's amazing, and you always deliver 101 million%. But I'm interested in, do you find inspiration in other art forms than music? Like, could it be a book? Could it be...
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that, you know, for me, being inspired just has to do with keeping your antenna up, you know, and because you can be inspired by a good breakfast.
Yeah.
You can be inspired by a bad breakfast. You know, inspiration just lies. It depends if you have your eyes open, you know, for the transmission to come in. You know, you're going to get it. But other art forms, those are easy ones. You know, we like to visit, you know, art galleries and museums and things like that. That's one of the biggest luxuries of traveling the way that we do, is going to all of these different countries and, you know, catching these different galleries, museums. You know, you're in Vienna and being able to go to the Belvedere and spend the entire day there looking at the Klimt exhibit or just whatever. But that inspiration is something that's definitely afforded to us.
And I think that's just how it is for artists, right? Anytime you get the feels from something, you want to kind of express a feeling from it. Doesn't matter the emotion, you know. It's a good emotion as much as a bad emotion, whatever it is. Like you're saying, it's the full range. You see some beautiful artist in a like the Belvedere or something, and you will come away from that with a melody. You come away with like, that gave me a melody, a sound in my heart, you know. Or
do you remember when that last happened, or something really hit you?
Oh, I mean, definitely many times.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's all, you know.
Yeah.
All the time.
I'll read and be moved by something and feel like I hear a soundtrack to this, you know, and get off the book and go to the guitar and just write like a little 15-second piece that's like, this is like that moment that I just read. This is how it like feels to me, you know? And that's what it'll be titled, just that little chapter or something.
Like that sense of wonderment. When you go and you see a band that you really like and you watch them play, that spark is the same spark that you're feeding yourself with when we're on stage or when we're writing. It's that same energy. And so you know when you are fortunate enough to interface with inspiration. And, you know, you can read a book, or you can have a great conversation, or, you know, have a deep dialogue or a debate with your friends or with family or whoever. But that inspiration, it all comes from that same source. It's that same pool that you're fortunate enough to be able to just wade in for a little bit. And so anywhere you can get it.
Get it. Sounds great.
Get it.
Sounds like a good life.
Totally.
Yeah, I want to be an artist. No, I don't.
You should read. You should read. You know, Rick Rubin, the producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should read his book, because by his standards, and by mine, you are an artist. And there's this great point that he makes that we're all artists. We're all doing art and expressing in our own way. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that actually in that book, it's pretty good. It's a little bloviated, but Rick Rubin, he makes some really good points early on. But
you see that I didn't get it?
I thought you saw that I didn't get it.
One of the great things
give it to me one more time. It was a little bit
bloviated. It's just a little
Weird.
Like self-important.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm not saying that. I found it really great.
There was one thing that he brought up early in the book that I thought was really useful. He says people have the misconception that creativity belongs to the artist. That artists are the only ones who have creativity. Well, creativity is a part of problem solving. And I think that for everyone to recognize that, I thought that was a really, really good point. That everyone is creative. Creativity is a part of just problem solving and breaking something apart and understanding how something works. Or, the biggest inspiration when it comes to creativity is necessity. Necessity will force you to create something that maybe didn't exist before. So anyway, now I'm bloviating.
Keep it on. Keep it on. Do we have anything else we have to say about the rest of the day?
The rest of the day, we have a bunch of other signing sessions that we need to check out.
We have a bunch of great bands.
We got a bunch of great bands. I'm focusing on the signing sessions. We were meeting Electric Callboy. I actually met Electric Callboy right before this interview, and they were so hyped up and ready to go.
We'll meet them later also.
We'll meet them later on.
I think you guys, ni kommer få se det imorgon tror jag.
Ja.
Det kommer bli kul. Jag tycker ni kan gå och kolla på Zion i Pistonhead-tältet. 13:45 tror jag. Riktigt bra trash metal. Unga killar som behöver lite...
Vi träffar oss och ska vi prata om vad vi träffar ikväll?
Ja, kan vi göra.
Ja, vi träffar Fred Esby från Dismember. Lite death metal.
Ja.
På kvällskvisten.
Ganska mycket death metal.
Ja, jättemycket death metal. Jag undrar hur det är för honom att spela på en festival som inte bara är fokuserad på dödsmetall. De blir också de hårdaste på...
Det kommer du fråga.
Ja, det kommer jag fråga.
Är de hårdast verkligen? Det var ju lite black och grej också.
Exakt.
Ja, vi kan ju göra en tävling vilka som är hårdast. Riot skulle jag gå och kolla på också. Bara för att få sjunga med i Swords and Tequila.
I understood that.
Yeah. Isn't that one of the greatest name of the song? Swords and Tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
Getting right to the point. Yeah. So, hey, I saw your shirt. I was looking at this while we were talking, and you had it your shirt was covering the God part at the bottom, and I was sure it said men who play golf. And I was like, yeah, I get that. Who's that band? Because I play golf too. I like these guys.
That would be cool. You play golf?
Yeah.
Are you good?
No. Not that many of us are good. I play a lot.
Heter det peg på engelska?
Yeah, we have some.
Yeah, we have a lot of Sweden rock pegs. They should be here.
Pegs? You mean tees?
Golf tees.
Tees.
I want some Sweden rock
It's
golf
Swedish
tees.
peg.
You will
Peggar.
have as many as you like.
I mean, I guess wood is good. I can play the game, definitely, but
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'm not jumping on
No. Scott's pretty good, because if you put it this way, I don't play golf, so I'm really bad.
Yeah.
So he's far better than I am.
He's an artist.
I'm not good like I'm going to make a band shirt that say men who play golf, but
You should.
I'm pretty good.
That would be great. Do you have your own golf cart?
No, I don't have a cart, but I do have clubs, so
Yeah.
I don't live on a golf course, so I don't have my own cart.
But you rent one?
Yes.
Yeah, we drove one.
We drove around
I think.
yesterday. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I almost fell over.
That's my new dream now, to have a golf cart.
Have a golf cart.
Yeah, just...
But I think golf is also I play golf, and it's very therapeutic because you can only focus on the ball and nothing else.
I have a Tesla, and that's kind of like a larger golf cart.
Yeah, it sounds the same.
Golf is very therapeutic. When you're going, you feel like really excited and good. You start the game, and you feel really focused, and about halfway through, you feel like, why did I come out here? And then you end, and you're like, why did I go out there and spend all that money? I'm terrible at this game.
Yeah. It's the world's most naive game because you always get back and you always do it again.
I like what Michael Jordan said. He said golf is the hardest sport that there is because you're playing against yourself.
Yeah.
But do you ever play on tour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Dave, our bassist Dave plays. Miley plays now. I think that's it. That's on tour right now. But the three of us will go and play whenever we can.
Have you played with any other musicians? We want name dropping here.
Nobody that I can think of offhand that's worth like name dropping or anything, but I'm trying to get in some rounds with Alice Cooper. He's very hard to get on with because he's a fantastic golfer and his whole band plays.
And
but this is a message to Alice. I want to get on with you. Nico plays, yeah. Never played with him. I would love to.
Yeah.
Tons of musicians golf. It's a thing.
So now you can do that band shirt.
Totally.
Just.
It's a great thing on tour because we're usually trapped in a confined space, the bus or backstage or whatever, tight grounds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So getting out to golf is a great way to just be in nature and kind of move around and do something different.
Get it. It takes a lot of time, though.
That's great.
Yeah, but I mean, time is not the thing you have the most of on tour.
Right. Yeah, it's scheduled, but yeah, it's good. Try to get out there nice and early.
Yeah.
Nothing happens early in a musician's life except this. We're doing it right now, and this may not seem early to you, but this is early for us.
Sometimes bedtime.
Yeah.
It comes early in the morning.
Yeah, when did you arrive? Was it this morning or?
Yeah, we arrived early this morning. We came up from Dusseldorf, Germany. You know, we rehearsed for a little bit to shake the dust off, and the crew's got to put all of their stuff together and arrange how the tour is going to look, and for festivals and things like that.
How do you end up deciding to rehearse in Dusseldorf?
Our bus was there, and we've been able to find a good spot, that's central to where our gear is, where the bus is, where we're going to go. It just works. Yeah.
But you've been in Europe long enough to...
It's a couple of days.
Yeah, so you're not really jet-lagged.
Yes,
I'm not jet-lagged.
Still jet-lagged.
But does that get better or worse after so many years of traveling through?
It gets better.
It gets better.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think for this trip we were home for a long time. We're a little less acclimated to a lot of travel because we were home for so long. Yeah.
How do you have any tips to handle it?
Yeah, when you arrive, if you arrive like early in the day, take a short nap, but then stay up. Just stay up and try to get on the local schedule,
As fast as possible.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but I guess sometimes you just have to listen to your body. I can get so tired that I'm almost knocked out.
Yeah. I honestly don't feel it anymore like that way. It was the first couple of tours you get it pretty good.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I ever traveled to Europe was to the UK, and I could not acclimate, and I was recording an album, and I was just in the studio falling asleep with the guitar on, like, I can't do it. I'm like completely upside down, going to bed at 3 in the afternoon and like waking up at 3 at night.
Same thing for me going to the UK. That was my first place that I ever came, and it was very difficult.
It's nowhere near like that anymore. It's a little laggy, but it's okay. Yeah.
But now you do PJs also.
You do what?
That's a word you taught me last time we met.
What's PJs?
Private jets. Because I didn't understand it.
PJs.
I love that you heard that from me.
Yeah, I did. And it's in my family now, that's a standard joke. On the PJ level.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great level. But for this time around, only bus.
Yeah.
Bus right
All
now,
of the band in the same bus?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fly to Trondheim tomorrow, but other than that, we're on the ground the whole time. Bus. Not in the PJ situation. We don't really work for Europe, though. Everything's pretty close together, you know?
Yeah, especially compared to your continent. What do you say, Jennifer?
Yeah, I actually have one more question. It's from a friend of mine who wanted to ask you, Jay, or you both, but he said you're always so well-dressed. You both are, all the time. And
no, that went directly to Jay. I'm offended.
No,
Who said this?
No,
What's their name?
I said Jay and Scott. But it's a follow-up question. Do you always end up barefoot? Or are you barefoot all the time on stage? Because he was like, he got so awesome boots. They both do, blah, blah, blah. You know?
I mean, I've got a pretty extensive footwear collection, but the whole thing about being barefoot on stage, I can dispel any mythology pretty quick. It works like this. If the stage is slippery, or if I feel like I'm going to eat shit, I take my shoes off so that I can be sure-footed. And so I'm not going to slip around or fall. And a lot of the time, you know, if the surface, especially at festivals, it's always the same feeling on stage. And if there's any sand up there or whatever, I can't, you know, I just want to have my mind in the song and be fully employed with what I'm doing and to try to transcend and, you know, into that special place. And if I got to worry about falling on my ass, it's not going to work. So then I'll just take my shoes off so I can just be free, you know. But that's really what it comes down to.
Totally get that.
Safety.
Safety first.
You think your friend will be happy about that?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about how you get those boots off. Because
I thought it was more of a fashion statement than
statement?
Than a safety statement.
Yeah, I don't know. People talk to me like about keeping about being barefoot, and it's always funny to me. Like, yeah, no, it's not very complicated or mystical. It's just like
they want it to be mystical.
Yeah,
like,
that was great. Now we know.
I need to connect with the earth.
Yeah, I feel my.
I remove my boots because I need to connect with the earth when I'm singing to people.
My vocal power comes from my feet.
Yeah, it's much better than just standing still.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. So what's up next?
What's up next? After this, we're gonna meet Electric Callboy.
Yeah. What's up next for you? Sammy interview.
Darren, what's up next?
Tonight, work signing session.
We got a signing session.
That's right down here.
Yeah.
Or is it the one outside?
Do you know what time? What time? 11:30 signing session.
Hårdrockshallen. Det är strax utanför stora entrén. Det är ett nytt område för i år. Det finns ju massa vinylskivor att köpa där också. Och annat kul. Så ni som ser det här nu, ni har ju 45 minuter på er och skynda till Hårdrockshallen och träffa de här. Och få någonting fint signerat.
Precis, ta på regnjackan.
Kan man köpa något också? Ja.
You guys think we should do it? We heard we're kind of guinea pigs for this signing session. What do you think?
No, actually it was one last night also.
Last night.
Yeah, and that was good.
And they were very pleased.
Who was it?
Evergrey.
All right.
Great, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Vi ses där, eller ni träffar dem. Vi kommer inte hänga med, tror jag. Wish you a great day. And looking so much forward to tonight's show.
Me too.
And nobody wants to die.
Nobody wants to die.
All right.
Well, nice talking with you guys.
Stage at 7 o'clock.
Thank you guys.
Yes, thank you, Sweden. We love you.
Ja, trevligt.
Skönt att ha dem här.
Nu, Jennifer, är vi inne i det här?
Ja, nu är vi inne. Nu har vi dragit av plåstret.
Ja.
Hoppas på att solen kommer fram lite idag. Det skulle regna lite nu, men så ta på vindjacka eller regnjacka eller det du behöver.
Ja, och så har ni en fantastisk dag på festivalen och är snälla mot varann. 6:00 är vi tillbaka härifrån.
Då ska vi träffa
Ni som är ute på
här.
festivalen, ni kanske står vid något kravallstaket då. Men ni som är hemma och kollar på det här, ni kommer ju kolla in 6:00 igen. Så får ni lite festivalkänsla förhoppningsvis.
Och sen när jag springer runt så haffa oss gärna. Vi pratar gärna med alla på festivalen.
Vi tar med oss en mick och en kamera.
Ja.
Och en kameraperson. Och så går vi och kollar om vi ses där ute. Det blir svinkul ju. Ha en grym dag allihopa, så ses vi snart igen.
Bye.
Thank you, Rival Sons!
Thank you, Rival Sons!
Yay!